Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Her Inspired Mind podcast. This is your host, Rebecca Fillmore. And before I get started, I want to ask you to please share this podcast episode because it can help change a life. Also, please make sure that you leave a star rating and review because the more reviews you leave, the more the algorithm is going to share this podcast, right, with everyone else. So, today I want to give you 3 steps on how you can create your dream life. So, nowadays, it's very easy to compare yourself to others and to allow yourself to be influenced because there's an influx of information, whether it's through social media or through the news, right? And so you might even catch yourself wishing that you were living, you know, a lifestyle that you see someone living. You might catch yourself comparing. You might even catch yourself with a little bit of jealousy or envy. And so I want to teach you how to create the life you're desiring deep down in your heart without doing all of those things. And I want to speak to you from a biblical perspective. As many of you know that my faith in God is my foundation. And there's a reason for that. I've seen the fruit of putting God first, having faith, walking in faith, regardless of what has happened in my life. And, just continuing to have a positive mindset and just never letting that faith go. So I wanted to share a verse with you, which is Romans 12:2. And it says, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." And like I mentioned in the beginning of this episode, that there can be a lot of negativity in the world. I know like when I go to the gym, even at 5 o'clock in the morning, there's like 20 TVs on with news, and none of the news is good, right? It's just makes you kind of disturbed. It makes you a little bit anxious, and it's just a lot of negativity, right? And so it could be easy to be consumed or to even start walking in more fear instead of faith because of what we're constantly being bombarded with. But there's a capability within us, which is we can decide what we're going to give our attention to. We can decide what we're going to think about. And so in this verse, it is urging us to continuously be working to improve our mindset, continually renewing it, AKA upgrading it, right? Because it says, do not be conformed to the pattern of this world, because we know every year there's something new is trending. There's new ideologies being put out there, like I said, with the negativity and even canceling out people, this, that, and the other. But it is our job and our duty for us to be working to improve our mindset and upgrading it. I always say that self development is a continuous job. Like we will never fully arrive. We will never know it all. We will never have it all together. But what we can do is improve from the last version of ourselves. It's like our phones, right? Every so often they send us an update. Like we thought it was perfect the last time, right? Oh, I love my phone. I love how it's working. It's great. But most things that are manufactured have updates, have upgrades that come out every so often. They don't just stay the same. Even cars, every year there's an upgraded version of the car from the previous year. So there's a reason in that, because if you're not growing, you're dying. There's always room for improvement, and that includes us and our mindsets. And there's another thing that, can help with your mindset. And Philippians 4:8 says, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. So it's encouraging us to think about positive things, things that are true, things that are noble, things that are right, things that are pure, things that are admirable, things to celebrate, anything that is excellent and praiseworthy. Think about such things. So, the first step in you creating the dream life that you desire is changing your mindset. So, I want you to take a moment to think about what kind of mindset you have. Do you have a positive mindset? Do you have a negative mindset? Are you always thinking about what's going wrong in your life or what's going on in the world that's bad? Just really reflecting, what are you always thinking about? Are you always worried? Are you always stressing about money? Are you always, comparing yourself to others or, being jealous or envious or just really thinking negatively? And if you are, work on improving your mindset by thinking about positive things. Now, how can you think about more positive things? Number one, whatever you eat, you become, right? Like I always say, whatever you watch, that's something you're consuming. Whatever you're listening to, that's something you're consuming. So, who are you following on social media? Are there people that you maybe need to unfollow because of the kind of influence they're putting on your mindset? Also, are you spending too much time? Also, are you spending too much time um watching social media or the news? Are you spending too much time watching the news? You can only control what you give your thoughts and attention to. And so you want to be very mindful of these things. The second step for you to take in creating the dream life that you desire is having faith. Isaiah 26:3 says, "You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast." And steadfast means firm in belief, AKA faith, because they trust in you. And so having faith is going to help you to feel more at peace, regardless of what's going in your life. Regardless of what's going on in your life. And so it says that even if your life is chaotic, right? Even if you're going through things, it says that God will keep you in perfect peace. You can still have peace if your mindset is steadfast or you live in faith and you trust in God. And I can tell you 100% that that is true. It has been very true for me because I've gone through a lot of things in life. My life is not perfect. I always say maybe I could have one or two good days, and then the rest of the days is just like bang, 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 like just different things start happening, right? But because my mind is focused on my future and I have faith in God, that is how I have been able to create the life that I have because I have the kind of faith that I have, right? And this faith doesn't just come out of nowhere. You have to be intentional. Again, it goes along with what are you thinking about? What kind of things are you focusing on? If you have a negative mindset and you're always looking at, what's going on wrong and why me and, just all of those things, it's going to be really hard to have a firm faith. So that's the second step. And then the third step is speak positively, right? Proverbs 8:21 says, "The tongue can bring death or life." So you have to be conscious of what you talk about whether it's to yourself or to others, even the kind of conversations that you're having in your head. Because, we all talk to ourselves. I don't know about you. I'll admit, I talk to myself all the time. So if, you're constantly saying, I'm stupid, or, ew, what does she think she is? Or, gossiping and hitting up people just to gossip all the time and always talking about people, you know, that's not speaking positively. That's being negative. That's speaking negatively. So your tongue, what you say, what comes out of your mouth can either help you to create the kind of life that you want or keep you even further away from it. So the three things, the three steps, again, to help you to create the dream life that you desire are changing your mindset and continuously upgrading it, having faith, and speaking positively. Now, there's more things that you could apply in your life to help you to create the life that you desire, but this is just a stepping stone. So, this is a great time for you to reflect and think about your mindset. It's a great time to reflect and see if you're a person that needs work on their faith, and what does that look like? And also being mindful of when you're talking, what are you talking about? What are you saying to other people? What kind of conversations are you entertaining? And also, what conversations are you having in your mind? All right. So I hope that this was helpful. And as always, if you feel like you need extra support in your life, as you know, I'm an empowerment coach. I would love to walk with you. If you're interested in speaking more of possibly having me as your one-on-one coach, you can email me at inspireherwithin@gmail.com. And also, please leave a star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. Like I said, it's going to help this podcast spread to more people, to help more people around the world. And also share this episode on your Instagram stories. You can tag me on your Facebook, and also leave a comment on this episode. I would love to hear your thoughts on what you learned. And, you know, even later on, let me know if you have been applying what you're learning and what are the results that you're getting from that. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you guys on the next episode. God bless.